20 we will continue with National Water Supply and Sanitation Program. So as introduction, in India, although the provision of rural water supply RWS is primarily the responsibility of the respective state government, the central government contributes a significant part of the program funds for the sector. So we see that rural, so usually this water supply that is being provided is mainly by the state government, but here we see that the central government also, it is contributing a significant part of the program funds for the sector. So throughout the 5-year plan, the central government introduced a variety of policies and programs to address the issue of drinking water. So we see that they have also addressed with the various problems that the people were facing because of the water problem. And then the first national water supply and sanitation program was started in the year 1954 as a part of the government's health plan. So in 1954 only they started a sanitation program for the water supply, and then the states gradually built up the public health engineering department to tackle the problems of rural water supply and sanitation. So through the program only, public health engineering department also was strengthened, and they took care of this water supply and the hygiene, that is the sanitation of the water. Then in spite of this, it was found during the mid of 1960s, the majority of the schemes were being implemented in the easily accessible villages, neglecting remote villages with severe water scarcity. The central government requested the state to identify these problem villages and make special plans for them. So though this program was started, but still we found that in rural remote areas people were suffering. So central government intervened and they said, find out, giving order to the state government telling that please notify us, identify the scarcity of water in whichever villages are there, so that they could work further on it. Okay, so next we will see drinking water supply programs and policies. So in 1949, we see the Environmental and Hygiene Committee recommends the provision of safe water supply cover 90% of Indians. So 1950, the Constitution of India, it confers ownership of all water resources of the government, specifying it as a state subject, giving citizens a right to potable water. Then 69, we see National Rural Drinking Water Supply launched with technical support from UNICEF. So UNICEF joins here. And then 1972, introduction of the Accelerated Rural Water Supply Program, that is ARWSP, by the Government of India. So like that, all the year when you study, we will get to know various program that was mainly initiated for safe water supply and its sanitation. So 1981, India as a part to the International Drinking Water Supply and Sanitation. 86, the National Drinking Water Mission is formed. Then 87, drafting of the first national water supply by the Ministry of Water Resource. 91, NDWM, that is a National Drinking Water Mission, is renamed the Rajiv Gandhi National Drinking Water Mission. It was renamed. The nomenclature was changed. Then 94, the 73rd Constitution Amendment assigned Panchayat Raj institutions the responsibility of providing drinking water. So 99 you have till 2007 to 2012. Please go through it and by heart it. So this is all with the National Water Supply and Sanitation Program. Okay, next so after these programs you should write about, it is in page 10, Jwal Dhara. Okay, so Jwal means water, right? Jwal. Okay, so the Government of India has been emphasizing the need for taking up community-based rural water supply program. Beginning was made in 1999. So they made sure that the Jal, okay, so regarding the water, okay, in the rural area, it has to be taken care of. So it was mainly community-based rural water supply program. So the central government initiated it in the year 1999. So an initiative in the rural drinking water supply sector was opened up throughout the country by launching Swajal Dhara program on 25th December 2002. So focusing on rural area only, they started this Swajal Dhara program on 25th of December 2002. Now principles of Swajal Dhara. What are the main principles under this Swajal Dhara program? So here we see that adoption of demand responsive adaptable approach along with community participation based on empowerment of villages to ensure their full participation in the project through a decision making in role of choice of the drinking water scheme planning, design, implementation, control of finances and management arrangement. So in all the things like controlling of water, its sanitation, planning, designing, the fund that is required, in this all they made sure that they included the people. Okay, so they ensured for the community participation, and then we see full ownership of drinking water assets with appropriate levels of panchayat. So different level of panchayat was ordained, and under that they were given control, ownership. So they were handling this, and then panchayat the communities to have the powers to plan, implement, operate, maintain, and manage all water supply and sanitation scheme. So all these panchayat people or the community the committees that were formed, they were taking care of how to plan, implement, operate, maintain, manage all this water supply and sanitation schemes. So various schemes we have seen according to the year. Okay, then partial capital cost sharing either in cash or kind, including labor or both, 100% responsibility of operation and maintenance by the user. So community participation itself to take care of everything, cost, the management, how to handle it, and then integrated service delivery mechanism. So with others, okay, integrated service was maintained for delivering this program. Then taking up conservation measures through rainwater harvesting and groundwater recharge systems for sustain. So they also followed, how to conserve water. So how to store this rainwater, harvest can be done, and groundwater recharge can be done. Then shifting the role of government from direct service delivery to that of planning, policy formulation, monitoring, evaluation, and partial financial support. So how well, shifting the role of government from direct service to planning. So here, so it is not only the main role of the government, but also it was shifted, to the direct service delivery, where community participation with the panchayat, where people were involved. So these are the various principles of Swajal Dhara. So next we will see rural sanitation program. So here under this program, following activities were considered. So demand driven low cost sanitation approach, involvement of private bodies like they had NGOs who could provide sanitation facility. Then interesting Panchayat Raj institution, local administration, the responsibility of operation, maintenance, that's what. So Panchayat people were involved in handling and maintenance of the sanitation of the water. Then improving sanitation in rural areas through IEC, information, education, communication program like mass media, okay, and health education, and introducing the concept of total environment sanitation. So through IEC, they also made sure that they maintain environmental sanitation, then converting all existing dry latrines to low-cost sanitary latrines. So all the dry latrines were turned into low-cost sanitary latrines. So latrines also ensures, so it prevents open field defecation, and it ensures that the environmental sanitation is maintained. So when we come, these are all were focused on rural sanitation program. Next we will see urban sanitation program. So here providing reasonable level of sanitation facility to large population. So when we say urban, the population also is more. So they provided with large facility. Then total elimination of dry latrines and manual scavenging. Okay, so all this dry latrines concept was removed. Okay, and then manual scavenging, who would use to manually, men used to clean up, and all those things also was totally eliminated. And total low cost on site sanitation is unsewered parts of cities, small and medium towns. So they made into practice to bring into low cost on site sanitation was maintained both in small and medium towns, and technological innovations to improve the reusability of the recycled water. So recycling of the water technique was brought. Okay, and then polluter paying principle should be applied to finance water disposal problem. So waste disposal program also was emphasized. So in order to maintain environmental sanitation, again you have the involvement of non-governmental organizations, and then private sector and the community, then converting all existing dry latrines to low cost sanitary latrines, same like the rural. Then recycling the treated effluents for horticulture, irrigation, and water harvesting and transport system for solid waste disposal. So they made sure that recycling of the waste products also is done. Okay, treating the effluents whichever was got from irrigation, horticulture, water harvesting, they saw if it could be transport system for solid waste disposal. So proper disposal of the the waste was done. Okay, and then I think with this the water, national water supply and sanitation is over. So we have seen introduction, Then various year, which kind of program was started. Then Swajal Dara program, what are its principles, then how they have emphasized in rural sanitation program and an urban sanitation program. Okay, yes, next we will continue with minimum needs program. So this minimum needs program is called as MNP, was introduced in the country in the first year of 5th 5-year plan. So when first year plan, 5-year plan, first it was start, then only this minimum needs program also was initiated. The objective of this program is to provide certain basic needs and thereby improve the living standards of people. So basic needs of the people should be met so that the living standards of the people can be maintained. So it is an expression of community of the government for social and economic development. So mainly it talks about the social and economic development of the underprivileged and undeserved population below the poverty line, very poor, underprivileged, for them to enhance, or to bring up their living standards. This was coordinated by the government for the social and economic development for these community people who are underprivileged. Okay, so rural health. So for this only, this rural health was started. It was achieved by the year 2000. So one primary health center, so focusing on their health. So one primary health center for every 30 population in the plains and 20,000 population in the tribal and hilly areas were focused. Okay, so one PHC for every 30,000 in case of plain area, and hilly area for every 2,000 PHC has to be maintained. So usually 2,000 population in the tribal and hilly areas. Then one sub-center for 5,000 population in plains and 3,000 population in tribal and hilly area. So they said if there is a sub-center can be started if there are 5,000 population in plain area and 3,000 in the tribal and hilly area. Then one community health center for 1 lakh population. So in rural health, so this was achieved by 2000 itself. So where all PHC sub-center and community health center can be started according to the population in plain as well as in tribal and hilly area. So next, nutrition. So they also extended their nutrition program. Okay, so extend nutrition support to 11 million eligible people. So whoever are underprivileged, they cannot afford, for them about 11 million eligible people were provided with nutrition support. Then expand special nutrition support to all integrated child developmental scheme, that is the ICDS projects. Okay, and then consolidation. So that is why they gave Anganwadi, when you give nowadays, they are giving boiled egg and milk every day for the Balwadi children, and then you see they give nutritional Hyderabadi mixture. Okay, so iron supplements, so all these are given. Okay, so for pregnant women, and then you have these adolescent girls. So nutrition, you have extended nutrition support to 11 million eligible people through ICDS, and consolidation of midday meal program in the schools are provided, and linking it to health, potable water and sanitation is being provided. Okay, now we will see what are the components of this minimum need program. So they focus on, you can draw this program and you can explain by yourself, adult education. Okay, so in the evenings, schools can be open for them to educate, and then you have nutritional through ICDS for mothers, for Anganwadi children, and then how it is provided to 11 million eligible people, midday meal program to the school children. Then environmental improvement or urban and regarding environmental hygiene through IES, houses for landless laborers, so providing houses. Then rural health, rural water supply, rural electrification. So these are the various areas that the MNPs include, and these are their components. They work on these bases in meeting the demands and need of the underprivileged people, okay, and undeserved population like tribal people, okay, where we cannot reach out. So these are the components you should be able to write. Only diagram is given, please explain. And then principles. Talking about the principles, there are two basic principles which are to be observed in the implementation of MNP. That is, the facilities under MNP are to be first provided to those areas which at present are undeserved and remote area. Okay, so we have to give it to the remote area so as to remove disparities between different areas. So concentrating on remote area, because only then the disparities, okay, or the differentiation will be removed. So equally it should be concentrating on all the areas. So that is the first principle. And then facilities under MNP should be provided as a package to an area through intersectoral area project to have a greater impact. So they are concentrating so that intersectoral area projects to give. So in order to have greater impact, they have many sectors which are coordinating together, okay, intersectoral area projects to have a greater impact. So these are the main two principles of MNP. So in this video we have seen about National Water Supply Sanitation Program, and then we have dealt with Minimum Needs Program.